So this week, I really want to talk about manifesting your dreams. We hear that word thrown around all the time. Manifest this, manifest that. I want to make my dreams happen. I want to achieve my goals. But the real question is, what does manifestation really look like? And how do you really go about doing it? So often I get caught in the what's the next step, or what do I need to do, or whatever that thing needs to look like. Sometimes we can just get lost in all of the to-dos about everything, or the to-dos about our life, that we sometimes put our dreams on hold, or sometimes we don't even really know how to make our dreams happen. So today I really want to talk about what are the steps to manifesting your dreams. Number one, get clear on your dreams. A lot of times I talk to clients or friends or just perfect strangers, and I ask them, what are your dreams, or what is it the thing that you want? And they can give me a laundry list of things they don't want. The conversation usually will go something like, what is it that you want? Oh, I don't know, but I know that I don't want to be miserable and unhappy and, deal with this crap all the time. And then they insert the laundry list of things that they don't want. A really great example of this is in relationships. Somebody who comes to me and says, well, I really want to have a healthy relationship. And I say, okay, cool. Tell me, what does that dream look like for you? And they're like, well, I'm not really sure, but I know that I don't want them to be disrespectful, and I don't want them to talk down to me, and I don't want them to not return my phone calls, and I don't want them to hurt me, and I don't want them to. They can tell me all the things that they don't want, but they can't in any of that tell me what they actually want. So I sometimes will let the conversation go, and I'll say, okay, cool. Well, thank you for telling me everything that you don't want. What is it that you actually want? And I usually get that deer in the headlights look, that look of, I don't think I've ever thought of that. And what's incredible about that to me is it tells me that how can they ever achieve their dreams if they don't know what the destination is even supposed to look like? It's kind of like going to the airport and wanting to buy a plane ticket, but not knowing the destination. You can go into the airport and say, oh man, I would really love to travel. And then you go up to the flight attendant and you say, okay, I want one flight out of here so I can see the world. And that flight attendant says, absolutely, no problem. Where would you like to go first? And literally what you do is go deer in the headlights. That's what it's like when you don't have clarity on what it is you actually want. So, step number one, get really clear on what your dream is. And this requires a little bit of something that I think we're all a little bit afraid of sometimes, and that is daydreaming. Yes, I know, you were probably told at some point when you were a kid that daydreaming was bad. Don't do that. Don't waste your energy. Don't waste your time. And I'm sure there may be a part of you actually that feels in some way like you can't dream, or you can't have an idea, or you can't hope for what it is that you really want, because either it's a waste of time, it's never gonna happen, if it does come around, you'll always lose it. Can we insert even more negativity before we even get started? I mean, hello. But it is important to allow yourself to acknowledge those thoughts as they come up, those fears, because what they're the things that are keeping you from actually daydreaming, from actually accomplishing the first step to manifesting your dreams, and that is getting clear on what it is you actually want. So I would encourage you, if you're actually wanting to go after your dreams and make them a reality, then daydream. Figure out, what are the things that you want? What do you want that perfect relationship to look like? What do you want your dream house to be? What do you want the entrepreneurial career that you have been dying to go after? What do you want it to look like, feel like, sound like, and be like? And who do you want to be in the process of that? A lot of times we forget that step of not only what does it look like, or what will I receive, like what will I get out of it, what will the end goal be, but also who will I become? How will I serve my community? Who will I be when I have that perfect relationship? How will I show up and be of service in the relationship? How will I serve my community, my clients, my customers in my entrepreneurial business? How will I show up and who will I become? That can be a powerful place to really nurture the feeling inside of you of what it is you want to actually achieve. And that gets me to my second point. So the second step in manifesting your dreams is to feel what you would feel if you were living that dream now. So again, you have to have clarity about what it is you want. And then once you have clarity about that, and you have clarity about who you will become, you can start to think about, well, what would I feel when I have that? What will it feel like to have my dream car? What will it feel like when I have the dream relationship? What will it feel like to be in a job that I absolutely love, that makes me feel like I am thriving and alive, and I get to give of myself in every possible way? A really small example that I have was a car. I started simple. At the time, I was in a junkety old car that was second level to best, but it was a good car. It was a point A to point B sort of car, and I absolutely loved it. But it wasn't necessarily the most amazing car, and certainly it only had a few years left in it. So I knew I needed to do something. So I put myself in the car that I wanted. And how did I do this? I literally imagined myself sitting in the driver's seat, turning on the music, rolling down the windows, totally jamming out, having fun, and I felt the wind on my face and the sun shining, and I listened to my music, and I imagined I was driving my car. I know it looks ridiculous, but I put myself in the feeling of what it would feel like to actually have it. And I didn't do it just once. I did it multiple times over a period of time. But what that created was an embodiment of the feeling. And in less than 6 months, I was able to manifest that car for myself. This was powerful for me because it taught me how I create, how I manifest, and the steps in which you have to go through in order to create the thing that it is you want. So this step is powerful because the more you embody the feeling of it, the more that feeling becomes an attractor point for what it is you're actually wanting to have in your life. You're wanting to have that dream relationship. Well, if you feel like you're already in that dream relationship and you are embodying the process, you are literally stepping into the energy of that relationship that you want to create for yourself. And the universe will always respond accordingly. It will always be like, oh, you over there, I feel your energy. Let me give you more of that energy. Side note, it does it the same way, even if the energy isn't what you want it. Sometimes when you're having a crappy day, have you ever noticed how that crappy feeling you're emitting from you attracts more of a crappy experience? Yeah. Like attracts like. Energy does the same. The universe will always show you what's going on the inside. That's a side note for another day, so we'll come back to that. Right now, I want to continue on how to manifest your dreams. The next step is a little tricky, and it's also, in my eyes, probably one of the hardest steps. And that is surrender to the outcome, but fiercely hold on to the intention. Let me break that down for you a little bit. A lot of times people will say, well, just let it go. Once you have the dream, just let it go and let the universe work. Sometimes that doesn't always feel right to me because it feels like I'm letting go of what it is that I want. But really, it's not about letting go of the desire, right? If I have a calling in my heart to get on stage and coach a group of people and speak out and be a speaker at a TED Talk, letting go of that dream in my heart really feels like it does a disservice to the calling I feel like I have in my heart. But when I surrender to the outcome of what it's supposed to look like, maybe it doesn't look like a TED Talk. Maybe it looks like a completely different talk somewhere else. I have no idea. Maybe the intention to share with a group of people is what is important, and that's what I want to hold on to. I want to hold on to the intention of the feeling that I'm going to receive when I'm on that stage, when I'm giving my talk, when I'm connecting with a group of people, an amazing, massive group of people, and having a global impact. That's what I want to connect with, and that's the intention that I want to hold true to. How it shows up, what it looks like on the other side, what it actually in reality becomes, that's the part you need to surrender. The way that this can look like in something like a relationship is hold on the attention for having the dynamic relationship filled with love and attraction and connection and depth that you ultimately want, and start to show up as that person in every relationship that you have, not just a romantic one, but in your friendships and in your family and even with strangers. But surrender what that person needs to look like or what that relationship needs to look like. Because sometimes what can happen is we get so attached to the end goal results of the house has to look exactly like this, and it has to be exactly like this, and that relationship, they have to be perfect. They have to have short blonde hair, and they have to have a British accent, and they have to, come on. Maybe the person that you're supposed to be with isn't any of those things. Maybe they're supposed to have brown hair, or maybe they do have naturally blonde hair, but when you meet them, they've dyed their hair black, and so you don't actually know, and maybe they're not actually supposed to have an accent, because maybe they're actually from Louisiana. Who knows? The idea here is that you hold on to the intention of what it is you're truly desiring and letting go and surrendering what it is supposed to look like on the other side. That way, when the person does show up, you can fully receive them. And this gets me to my last step in manifesting your dreams, and that is receive. Receive your dream. Be open to knowing that one day you are absolutely 100% going to receive this dream. But if you're not even open to receiving it, and you're not even allowing yourself to be open to all the ways in which maybe you're already receiving it, then how do you think that you're ever going to actually manifest that dream? If you have a strong block on the fact that you are unworthy to receive the relationship of your dream because you just aren't good enough, guess what? You're going to manifest that. You're not going to manifest all the other. You can do all the work and surrender the outcome and hold the intention. But if underneath you're saying, nope, never going to be good enough, not going to happen, that feeling is going to be more powerful than all the other work that you did. So make sure that you're really ready and you're really open to receiving the dream that you want. That also means you got to get real with yourself. And sometimes it's ugly. You got to get honest. You got to be aware, and you got to pay attention to those thoughts that are inwardly sabotaging you. Yeah, I'm going to do a whole episode on self-sabotage syndrome, but we'll get back to that later. What's important to hear in this last step is that allowing yourself to be open to fully receive your dream is the final step in order to actually receive it. And then really what I would encourage is when you do receive it, celebrate it and watch anything that keeps you stuck in a place of not fully receiving it. I had an experience where I once was trying to grow a class that I wanted to teach, and I worked really hard on putting all of the right intentions, visualizing it, seeing it happen, surrendering how it was going to come out, everything. But as I went into the experience to start teaching, I ended up attracting 5 students, and I was super excited. But underneath the surface, there was a part of me that was terrified I was going to lose every single one of them. And that was the component that was actually keeping me from fully receiving what I had actually manifested. So I had manifested this great class, but yet my fear the entire time that I did not want to acknowledge and was fully denying, because again, I wanted to focus on the positive, was unwilling to see that there was an underlying fear of failure in the experience. Now, in none of those moments did I actually acknowledge, man, I got this fear over here, but this is what's showing up, and I'm going to celebrate that this is showing up and allow that fear to basically be redesigned. Nope, what I ended up manifesting was all of my students leaving. What I did learn from that experience was that I could manifest success and failure simultaneously. I created that. I created both sides of that coin. So what I want you to hear in this is, what are the ways in which you are keeping yourself from fully receiving the thing that it is that you truly desire? And if you do desire it, it is true for you. It is in your heart to achieve it. So don't hold yourself back. There's no need for that. And you achieving your dreams actually benefits the world. It helps the world achieve their dreams and see that it can be done. So, by you getting clarity about what it is you truly want, allowing yourself to fully feel the feeling of your dream and invite that feeling into your life today, surrendering to the outcome, but holding on to the intention of what it is you truly desire, and opening yourself up and allowing yourself to receive, you get to transform the world. There is huge power in manifesting your dreams. If there is something that is on your heart that you deeply desire, don't ignore it. Go after it with everything that you have. Every day is a new opportunity to take one little tiny step towards your dream. I hope you've gotten something magnificent out of this, and I hope that somewhere along the way you are in one of these steps and this has helped you take it to the next level or go to the next step. And please, I would love for you, share with me your dreams. What is something that's on your heart that you really want to make happen? Share it. I would love to hear, and I would love to be a cheerleader in your journey in manifesting your dreams. And if you really liked it, please share and subscribe, and you can get even more videos just like this one. Well, I look forward to seeing you later, and I hope you have a beautiful day.